Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Immigration YTTV. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about appeals court declines to lift order blocking Trump from deploying National Guard in Illinois, finding scant evidence of rebellion. A federal appeals court has rejected the Trump administration's bid to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois, ruling that there is no evidence of a rebellion to justify such federal intervention. The court upheld a lower judge's order blocking the move, citing constitutional limits on presidential authority. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. A federal appeals court has dealt a major blow to the Trump administration's efforts to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois, rejecting its emergency request to overturn a lower court's restraining order. The ruling, issued by a three-judge panel on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit, found that the president's move likely violated constitutional principles protecting states' rights and failed to meet the legal standard for declaring a domestic rebellion. Court upholds lower court's block on troop deployment. The Seventh Circuit panel concluded that President Donald Trump's attempt to send National Guard troops to Illinois represented a likely violation of the 10th Amendment, which reserves powers not delegated to the federal government to the states. According to the judges, the administration was unlikely to succeed in demonstrating that a rebellion existed or that regular federal law enforcement was unable to execute its duties. The ruling effectively maintains the current situation in Illinois, where the federal government retains control of Guard troops, but is prohibited from deploying them under federal command. The temporary restraining order imposed by a lower court judge remains in place until October 23, pending a hearing on October 22 before U.S. District Judge April, who will decide whether to extend the order. Scope of federal troop presence in Illinois. As of last week, approximately 200 federalized National Guard members from Texas and 14 from California were stationed in Illinois, alongside 300 Illinois Guardsmen mobilized at the president's direction despite objections from Governor J.B. Pritzker. The governor has argued that the deployment undermines state authority and is unnecessary, given that Illinois law enforcement agencies are already managing public safety. President Trump defended his actions by describing Chicago as a war zone plagued by violent crime and insisted that federal troops were needed to protect federal immigration facilities. These facilities, particularly in the Chicago suburb of Broadview, have been the scene of frequent protests amid the administration's aggressive immigration enforcement policies. Judges find no evidence of rebellion or law enforcement failure. The appellate judges dismissed the administration's claim that protests in Illinois constituted a rebellion. Political opposition is not rebellion, the court declared, emphasizing that public dissent, even if heated or at times disorderly, does not justify federal military intervention. The panel further noted that while demonstrations against immigration policies had occasionally turned tense, they had been quickly contained by local, state, and federal authorities. The court highlighted that immigration facilities had remained open and operational throughout, and federal agents continued to make arrests and deportations without significant disruption. Constitutional boundaries and state authority. In its sharply worded decision, the panel reaffirmed the constitutional balance between federal power and state sovereignty. The judges underscored that the 10th Amendment serves as a barrier against federal overreach in matters of state governance, particularly when it comes to deploying military forces within a state's borders. The court observed that the administration's justification lacked factual grounding and legal merit, stating that spirited and sustained protest activity does not amount to a danger of rebellion. The Seventh Circuit's decision represents a significant reaffirmation of state authority and constitutional restraint. While the temporary restraining order remains in effect pending further hearings, the ruling sends a strong message that presidential power to federalize and deploy the National Guard cannot override state consent or stretch beyond clear constitutional limits. As Illinois officials prepare for the upcoming hearing, the court's stance underscores a broader legal and political reminder: dissent and protest, even in turbulent times, do not equate to rebellion under American law. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.